Welcome back to another edition of the Spotting Chronicles. This is the 2024 edition. The last time I spotted was actually about March 2020, about when the travel restrictions for COVID hit and all of the big birds stopped flying, and I just kind of got disinterested. Even my photos didn't look good. But I'm back, and I'm back with a bang because I've got a special guest here today. You know, as they say, it goes down in the DMs on Instagram. And me and Scott hooked up in the DM, and he's got a beautiful page, beautiful Instagram page, and I just enjoyed looking at his photos. And so, you know, he said he leads a group from San Diego. He's actually from San Diego. He's a retired pilot for United Airlines. And I love interviews, and I just knew this would be a great interview. So his name is Scott Becker. And Scott, so glad to have you today.
It is so good to meet you, Greg. This is serendipity. We began meeting on Instagram, which is just a wonderful clearinghouse for global spotters and in other genres. You know, aircraft spotting is just one bit of Instagram. I'm not here to plug Instagram, of course, but I am very grateful to what the platform does for spotters, for the aircraft community. And it's so nice to meet you.
The pleasure is all mine. I would think that for someone who flies all the time before you retire, you wouldn't necessarily be interested in spotting. I interviewed a spotter from JetBlue here back in 2019. His name was Ray, and he loved to spot too. About what percentage of pilots that you know love to spot also?
Single digits, maybe 5%, maybe 10% on a good day. I think if it's in your DNA, you're going to be a spotter. If you just adopt the industry as a way to make money and sustain yourself and get a retirement and go on. A lot of people retire and they forget aviation. Kind of sad. There are some who are diehard aviation fanatics. They have their own aircraft, but as far as spotting, it is a niche. And I regret not having done more when I was flying. I had a little Instamatic camera, took some shots, but I regret. If I could do one thing and go back in time, I would shoot just profusely, constantly. Bring a GoPro.
You read my mind. I was just about to ask you, did you spot while you were flying?
Minimally. It was very minimal. I have probably 200 shots from a career at United of 29 years, so that's pretty bad.
And you
very shameful, actually, and I'll be the first to admit it.
You anticipated another question. 29 years, that's a long time. What was your favorite plane to fly?
That's a tough one because the two aircraft I spent most of my time on are the Boeing 737 and the Airbus A320. And people say, what's your favorite? I love them both, but I would have to say for daily flying, doing multiple trips a day, like Southwest type flying, 737 hands down, a nice hand flying aircraft. For long transcontinental flights, anything more than 4 hours, Airbus A320. You've got the tray table, very ergonomic airplane, it's quiet. Little known fact is the flight deck of the A320 was partially designed by Porsche.
Okay.
So it's beautiful aesthetically, and it's very comfortable, quiet.
Great. Now, when was the first time that you became fascinated? Because anybody who spots, they're just fascinated with planes. When did you first become fascinated with aviation?
Oh, probably about age 6. My dad was a private pilot, took me flying, so aviation was kind of built into my family experience, building plastic model airplanes, and then eventually learning how to fly on my own. So very much so early age. I always wanted to fly for United. That was my dream, and I was very lucky that it turned out that way.
That's fantastic. That's very fantastic that you could want to be a pilot for United and fly for United. What is it like working for United?
It's actually a really good company from the employee level, and a lot of people are going to pan me for this, but upper management, senior management, I'll withhold comment. Middle management, the people you interface with on a daily basis are wonderful, very supportive. Co-workers, you know, flying with flight attendants in the same metal tube. Ground staff workers, maintenance people who are the lifeblood. Maintenance people, I'll give them a plug, they're the unsung heroes of the aviation industry. The people are wonderful. There are people who have careers 45, 50 years or more. They don't have mandatory retirement ages like pilots do. There are flight attendants in their 70s. There have been flight attendants at United and other carriers into their 80s.
Wow.
That's talking about being in your DNA and your blood.
Exactly, because that's grueling on you flying like that, because so many people who travel for a living, at some point they kind of get tired of traveling. Did you ever get tired of it?
No, But I did one thing that really benefited myself. Notice how the aircraft I mentioned, 737, A320, I did not do any of the long-haul international flying. That's hard on your body. I'm a very light sleeper. I wake up at the drop of a pin. So I would not have been able to sleep very well in the bunks of the aircraft. I would be a zombie when I got to my layover destination and would crash out, and then you have the circadian rhythm adjusting to maybe 24 to 48 hour layover, coming back home, having 3 to 4 days off, rinse and repeat. It's tough. I watched my friends get prematurely gray.
Yeah.
I said quality of life on the narrow body, domestic flying in the Western Hemisphere is the way to go.
Now, you say you're a light sleeper. I noticed on your page you have 7 exotic birds. Do they keep you up?
They can. So parrots are very vocal, sundown and sun up. I have one of my birds who I sleep with often in my bedroom. I have a little sleep cage. She has become a rooster. So when the sun comes up, she starts screaming. And I'm trying to condition her to not do it. I take her up, put her on my hand, take her downstairs and put her in her cage, her primary cage, which is not the typical flow. So I'm trying to let her know you cannot do that.
Right. Perfect. Now, one day back in 2019, I interviewed a young spotter from DFW. His dad, it was a nice Dreamliner coming through from United. Yeah. I'm sorry, spotters, when they see a nice bird coming through, they just stop whatever they're doing.
Exactly.
Because everybody here is shooting right now. But his dad was a pilot. His mom was an airline flight attendant. And it was just in that DNA. So as your dad being a pilot, when did you actually start that process of becoming a pilot yourself?
When I was 14, so you can solo a glider or a sailplane when you're 14, a powered airplane when you're 16. The smart money is wait until you're 16 or near 16 to start doing your powered flight lessons. I wasn't that smart and I wanted to fly, so I started flying sailplanes at 14. I have maybe 20 hours. I did not get a private pilot license in sailplanes. I actually have not flown one in decades. But then when I was 15 and a half, I started really getting into the powered aircraft. Hello, Jack.
Hey, Amerijet's getting ready to roll.
Super. So early age. I also wear glasses or contacts. So Air Force, military flying was not in my repertoire. So I just did the old-fashioned, learn how to fly, get your private commercial flight instructor licenses. I was a flight instructor for many years, and then I went to work for several small regional airlines. So that's the gateway for a lot of us.
This is getting spooky.
Oh, no.
One of the next questions I was going to ask you, what percentage of pilots actually started out in the military?
Historically, it's been very high. I would say probably 3/4 or more. But as time goes on, the military is flying fewer aircraft. They're retaining better. So the airline industry is learning how the general aviation side is a really good source for pilots. So I would say the military pilots are dwindling. They'll always be there, of course, but yeah.
Perfect. Well, I'm going to start to wrap it up because I know you're a spotter and I don't want you to miss, because someone was trying to get your attention for this jet that just took off.
Caught it before.
Got it. Perfect.
I'd rather chat with you, Greg.
Yes, because I didn't want to interrupt your spotting, because spotters love to spot. So, not very many military these days.
Fewer, and they're still there, but not what they used to be.
Right, because I know my stereotype was most pilots started out in the military and then they'll go on from there. Now, in terms of the spotters that you lead from San Diego, you said that it actually is not really kind of a loose club, you said?
It's an affiliation. We have, maybe 20, 25 people in our group chat that we hang out with. We go spotting together. I usually bring up a group here of 7 to 10. I'll actually go rent a minivan or a van and bring guys up here. Most of the kids don't drive. So one of the really cool things, I'll have to come back just to slide them out. One of the reasons why I do this spotting is to fulfill what I admitted I should have done when I was an active pilot. And it's also paying forward. I was the benefit of so much largesse, so many good friends who helped me along, that helping out all these cool kids, Gen Z rocks. They really do.
That's really cool. So you mostly focus on young kids?
Pretty much. Most of our spotters are 21 and under. Yep.
Excellent. That's a really cool deal. I started, what was I did an early retirement from UCLA. I started spotting when I was 55, 56, because what happened was I did early retirement, and I was just sitting around, trying to find something to do, and I was doom scrolling on Instagram one day. And I came
at 2 a.m.?
No, not that late. But I came across this page of this guy who repurposes content, and he posted large planes and different aviation And I was just looking at it and I was fascinated by it, right? And I'm like, wait a minute. I like photography because I did event photography before. I like doing videos. And I love big things that fly, and I'm only a few minutes away from the fourth busiest air. I think it's still the fourth busiest in the country. I think it's the country, not the world. And I'm like, why wouldn't I go out and spot? And I came out and I was hooked ever since then. And when I was coming out from March 2019 to about March 2020, I came out just about every day. So how often do you go out and spot?
I will spot 3 to 4 times a week, mostly in San Diego. I come here to LAX probably twice a month, sometimes a little bit more, especially with winter lighting we're in right now. We'll be up here a lot. We'll be up here probably three times a month. And I also do helicopter spottings. That's another really cool thing. The final frontier, in my opinion, of spotting is aloft in a helicopter. They take the doors off, and they get permission from the tower. Obviously, it's a federal requirement, and it is an amazing experience. I take a lot of friends up.
You're friends with Kate, right? I've become friends with her on Instagram, and you guys, Spike. I saw a picture of you guys together one day. So you guys,
right here, actually.
Okay,
one of them, yeah.
Cool. So how often do you spot with her?
Well, funny you ask. I will actually be meeting her next week, this coming week, because there will be a Martin Mars amphibian. I'm sorry, not amphibian, a seaplane that's going to come in from Vancouver to San Francisco to San Diego. They'll spend 3 days in San Diego. People can tour it, and then it's going to go off to Pima, Arizona, be dismantled from the lake, trucked to the Pima Air Museum, and live out its life as a static display. So that's going to happen in San Diego sometime next week. Kate will be there, coincidentally, because I think she has a friend flying for Lufthansa to spot. So I will be meeting Kate Monday and probably Tuesday, maybe Wednesday.
That sounds
very small world.
Yes, that sounds very exciting because I see her hanging out of the helicopters flying over LAX, and it just looks so exciting. Is it exhilarating being up there doing that?
It is. And I'll tell you 2 other little factoids. I'm afraid of heights. I used to be afraid of helicopters, and the fear of heights was kind of taken care of by flying, and I feel secure in the aircraft. The fear of helicopters went away by spotting, because I recognized fairly early on that it's a wonderful way to elevate yourself and get good air-to-air and air-to-ground shots. So I first flew in the helicopter about 3 years ago and never looked back.
Do you have a favorite plane to spot?
Oh, geez. Probably the Queen, the 747.
Speaking of 747s, Lufthansa 400 right there.
Oh, nice.
That's the one that I was excited for today because it's really rare. You want to get a shot. Hello, my name is Jack. I actually know Scott.
We've met Jack.
Yep, I'm from San Diego. Yeah, here, if you want to. Yeah, just. Sorry. Yeah, hi. So I've known Scott for a while. I've met him when I was down in San Diego a couple times because I went to UCSD, so I did spot there a bit with him. One of the aviation geeks I've also met up here is Sam Chewy when he was live streaming with the airline video guys too. That was pretty fun. Yeah. If you want to get your shot in, this is like your best chance.
I got one shot.
Yeah, sure. All right. I'll get a little shot here too. Hold on a second.
He will leave, I think, around 3:30. So if you want to head over to the Qantas slot for his departure, go for it. I know you were in the middle of the interview, but
That's okay.
it's so rare. I said, I don't want it.
It's all about cutting.
Yeah.
And we're not live.
It's airborne.
No problem. So I'm actually going to leave all this in. So we had a fun little transition here because look, spotters will spot no matter what. And I'm going to be honest, I really was kind of afraid of stopping Scott from spotting some of his favorite planes here because today is a beautiful, gorgeous day at LAX to spot. My favorite shots are shots with clouds in the background. I really don't like a clear blue sky because to me, clouds add character to the to the photo. What do you think about that, Scott?
I agree, especially thunderstorm clouds. The stratus clouds we got here are not all that wonderful, but winter, pre-storm and post-winter clouds with the hard, crisp edges, perfect.
Yes.
I
Now-
actually slightly disagree. I mean, I get the clouds do add texture, but it's always tough when the clouds are blocking out the sun. Then it kind of kills the energy. Then clouds are like you have like a love-hate relationship with them, because if the clouds are like adding contrast and it's clear sun as well, it's good. But when it's like too many clouds and it's not really strong sun, or there's no contrast, then
Philippines Airlines 777.
clouds like that today, that's fine, because that does add but when it's like so many clouds you can't really see the airplane, then it becomes almost challenging. Like,
True.
Like
Now,
give an
I
example of
want to add just a minute. I want to add an addendum to my statement.
Yes.
I like a cloudy sky in the background and the sun at my back. How about
That's
that?
what I'm talking about. Yes,
Yes.
that's what I'm
Perfect
talking
lighting,
about.
yes.
Here, like I'll give a good example of one photo like that here. This was like from last year. This was in February when Koreans A380s were back at LAX. I took a shot that was like, this is the kind of shot I'm talking about. Like that's
Oh,
good,
yeah.
that's good, because
There you go.
You get clouds, but it's not overpowering it, and you got sun. It's like a perfect blend. It's like,
Korean A380 with a nice shot taking off. Looks like. Yep. See if I can get that in
yeah,
there a
you
little
can get
bit.
it, like, yeah, there you go. That's right. There we go. Perfect.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, I'm really enjoying this, and we're here overlooking now. When I was here, have they finished the new addition that they started over here, over next to Tom Bradley over here?
I don't
That the
know.
new okay,
There's a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
activity going on.
Yeah,
there,
it
but
looks
I don't
like
know
it.
if
Looks like they
finished
finished it. Yeah.
They might have. And it started up pretty quickly. That was a very quick project.
Okay, yeah, because the last time I hear that was all under construction, and pretty much all you had was Tom Bradley here. Have you ever gotten a shot of all the tails at Tom Bradley?
I've gotten a few, yes. It's all about timing.
Right.
Serendipity, just hopefully it works out.
And I want to do more night spotting and come out here at night and get some shots of the tails. But they don't really be lit up as good to me, it seems. But I do have like a monopod. I want to come
you
out
go.
here at night more.
For time exposure, absolutely, yeah. Some aircraft have logo lights that illuminate the tail, others don't. So hopefully you'll come out here on a night when they're all lit up.
Yes.
Christmas tree. A wide variety of colors, different nationalities.
Exactly. This is just a Imperial Hill Jim Clutter Park is just one. I can't imagine a better place in the world to spot, especially on a clear day like this. You've got Hollywood back over here in the background. You've got Santa Monica over here. You got the mountains. You got the beach not too far over here to the west. And it's just a beautiful, especially when you've got clouds in the background and the sun at your back. It's just a beautiful place to spot. Now, what places do you have to hit when you come down?
Definitely Clutters Park right here. I like Proudbird. The top of H Hotel is really good. This time of year, Dockweiler Beach on the departure end, you can get aircraft taking off. Looks like the palm trees are sprouting airplanes. That's an amazing shot, but it's a very small niche of time. It's like November through maybe February, and the lighting is not good. And that's a golden hour. That's late afternoon, early evening.
I love spotting at Dockweiler Beach. Before I stopped spotting, I didn't realize really what I had. I had something really good going. I had like plus 2,000 plus followers, and people would DM me all the time wanting to come spot with me. And one day I was at Dockweiler, and 3 or 4 young spotters were walking up on the road above, and one of them, because I went by G Miller Snap _ Spot LA at the time, and they said, "Is that G Miller Snap down there?" And I just waved at him. Right, and I really regret that I stopped, but hey, I'm back and I'm trying to get it going back. So how long exactly have you been actually spotting?
Almost 3 years. So November, late this month will be my 3rd anniversary.
Oh, nice.
Formal spotting. I mean, I've always taken pictures with little disposable cameras when I was younger, but formal actual spotting with a good quality camera coming up on 3 years.
You know what's so funny? The first time I ever came out and spotted, it was right here, Jim Clutter Park.
Really?
I'm trying to remember the year, but I had a little point and shoot camera, and oddly enough, it was reverse ops going on that day.
How rare.
Can you imagine my first time little point and shoot? Got some reverse ops. I don't even know if I still even have those pics. So have you gotten reverse ops here before?
Rarely, and it's only during bad weather days. And I am a sunny shooter. I will shoot when we have low overcast, but it's just not my forte. I really like this. Puffy clouds. I don't do much night spotting. I should. I don't do panning where you focus on the aircraft, low shutter speed, and you have the background blur. I need to get into that. So I need to expand my repertoire. But I enjoy this so much, I don't feel the need. This is not work. This is fun. This is entertainment.
Great. Now, there's one thing I noticed about your page. You've got a lot of great photos there. You do a lot of pans on your photos and everything, really nice. And then you'll go back out wide and show the big picture. The thing I noticed about your page that impressed me the most, you have 7K plus followers, but you're also following 7,000 people. To me, they don't just hand out pilot's license.
Right.
You've got to earn that. And that's, to me, a picture of humility, that you would follow as many people as follow you. Is that by design?
It's by design, but I'll tell you something. I'll tell you the dirty little secret of Instagram. Did you know there's a limit on how many people you can follow?
Now, follow total or in a day?
Follow total. So on your page, you have your people following you and the people that you follow.
Yeah.
People that you follow, no more than 7,500.
Wow.
And I learned that the hard way because Instagram does not publicize that. I actually crossed the threshold to like 7,503.
Yeah.
I tried to add people who follow me. I try to follow for follow. If someone wants to follow me, I'm gratified. I like to follow them back. It's only the fair thing to do. And I noticed I couldn't follow them. And I wondered, what's going on? And I had no idea there's a cap. So I Googled it, and a buddy of mine who I'm here with today verified 7,500. So I thought, okay, I'll play the game. I went through a lot of my old original people, deactivated accounts or people who really weren't publishing. I would try to delete them. I deleted about 100 to get under the threshold. When I refreshed the screen, it was right back at 7,503 or 7,506. So I had to really notify Instagram the counter was stuck. I tried to help myself and get below their threshold. They had to reset it for me. So now I try to make sure I don't get anywhere near 7,500. But it's a dilemma.
Right. I just had to get that in because that really impressed
Greg.
me. And I said, you know what? That's a sign of humility, and I really like that. So it's been an absolute pleasure. I appreciate you connecting with me in the DMs. I love looking at your page.
Thank you. And likewise, Greg, you do a wonderful job.
Thank
You're
you.
so personable. This is a natural fit for you.
Thank you very much.
One more episode of Serendipity.
Exactly.
It really
and
is.
I'm definitely going to get down to San Diego to spot with you.
You come down to San Diego, I'll show you all the cool places.
That's exactly what I
We'll get
need.
lunch, we'll do the whole San Diego thing, yeah.
And I noticed one of your posts called it the finest city, and it is a very fine city.
Well, the Chamber of Commerce says it's America's finest city. I think that's a bit of hubris. It's not. It's a wonderful city, but any city that says, we're the finest city, they are lacking humility. Sorry, my buddy, Chamber of Commerce. It's a good tagline, but okay.
I'll put it like this. I like San Diego. I like
place.
all the sayings. San Diego, San Francisco, Santa Barbara, San Antonio. My brother lives in San Antonio. He lived out here for years and worked for Boeing, and then they moved him out to San Antonio, and I enjoy going to visit him every now and then.
Riverwalk, yes.
The Riverwalk is beautiful. Scott, it's been a pleasure.
Greg, I've enjoyed it so much. Thank you so much for your time, for the interview, and appreciate it. Like and follow. He's a wonderful human being.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
My pleasure, Greg.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You are an actual interview.